Hi guys, this is Sadik from build.prop, and in this video, we'll show you how to use your own custom fingerprint or the build.prop file and the JSON file to pass the play integrity test on your phone. So as you might be aware, the easiest way of getting this job done is by simply flashing a module. Although there exists a module and you might be aware of this module as well, it's there on GitHub and it's known as the play integrity fix module. But the major issue with this module, or rather with Google, is that since the module is open source, Google is able to easily get hold of the fingerprint that the module is using, and then Google ultimately patches that fingerprint, and hence the module stops working. The developer then makes a new module with a new fingerprint, but once again Google patches that fingerprint and we are back to square one. So this cat and mouse game is going on, and as and when a developer makes a new module, the Google patches it and then nullifies the module. So if you want, you may refer to my guide and the video and try to flash that module. It just requires a single click and get the job done, but the module might only work for a few days before ultimately it might stop working. So that is why our best course of action is to make our own fingerprint module so that Google is not aware of the same, and then we could use it onto our phone and pass the play integrity test. So on that note, let's get started. Just to recall, as of now, by play integrity test, I mean the meet device integrity and meet basic integrity. You will not be able to pass the meet strong integrity because that is only possible on a log bootloader. So keeping that aside, you just have to pass the first and second test. And in this video, we'll show you how to do just that. It goes without saying that your phone should be rooted. In some custom ROM, these tests also fails even if your phone is not rooted. So if you are using a custom ROM which is not rooted, then simply you will have to first and foremost root your phone. For that, boot your phone to the AOSP recovery, then do the ADB sideload of the matches zip file, and then you will obtain root. So once you have obtained root, let's now get started with the process. So first and foremost, I will show you the manual method and then we will get ahead with the automatic method. The automatic is quite easy to carry out, whereas the manual is quite lengthy and complicated. But the manual method is extremely difficult for Google to patch, whereas in the automatic method, Google might be able to patch it a little bit faster and easier. Anyways, with that said, let's get started with the guide. So first off, we will make a JSON file manually. So in this, you will have to get hold of a phone which is not that popular and not that famous. Please don't opt for the Nexus phones or the Pixel phones or the Samsung, Xiaomi, all such phones, because the fingerprints of all these phones have already been patched. You should go for the likes of Vivo and Oppo. Even the Asus has recently been patched just a couple of days ago. Google has patched near about all the fingerprints of Asus. So even that might not work. So go for Vivo, Oppo, or even some less known Chinese brand. That will be your best bet. So just keep in mind, the less popular a device is, the better your chance of passing the play integrity test. This is the most important point to keep in mind. So pick a combination of a device and its ROM, which you think many people will not opt for. So this is quite difficult, I know, but you will have to make a choice, and it's recommended to use a device that has a firmware up to Android 9. Above Android 9 might not work. The best is with Android 6 to Android 8. You may also opt for Android 9. It might work till Android 9, but don't go higher version because that will not work. So apart from Nexus, Pixels and Samsung, Xiaomi, please don't use these common OEM. They will no longer work, that for sure. Likewise, the likes of Vivo and Oppo may no longer work. So you may opt for those phones which are very less popular because you have high chances of passing the test. So with that said, always keep this rule in mind, and now you will have to download the ROM file. So in this regard, you could also download the ROM file from the official site or a trusted non-official site. The only reason why we want to download the ROM file is because we want to extract a couple of files, which is the build.prop, the product and the vendor prop. I've given the location of all these files. In case of build.prop, you could find it in the system build.prop or at the system build.prop directory. Likewise, the product can be found at product build.prop and the product etc build.prop, or the vendor and the vendor file could be found in the vendor build prop or the system vendor build prop location. So you will have to extract this file and open this file via text editor, and then you will have to get hold of the following values: the product, device, manufacturer, brand, model, fingerprint, and security patch. These 6 are the most important values and they have to be there in the JSON file. Apart from that, you may add a couple of additional values. The security patch is only required for the phones which are launched later than March 16, 2018. But even then, if your phone is launched before that, we would still recommend you to add the security patch field just to be on a safer side. Moreover, make sure that the date should be from the RO build date, which should be there in the system build prop and not the base date in the fingerprint module. So the date should be the RO build date section from the build.prop file, which belongs to the system and not the vendor. So keep this point in mind and get hold of all these files, all these sections, data. Just to tell you, this JSON file has already been used and it has been patched by Google. So there is no need to use this file because you will fail the test. So these 6 are, or rather these 3, 4, 5, 6, these 8 are the most important values. The product and the device name are usually the same. So in most cases they are the same, and manufacturer and the brand name might also be same. Just in case of brand name, you might see that it starts with a lowercase, whereas the manufacturer starts with the uppercase. So you may either use this syntax or use this syntax, which also have a few additional information such as the ID, incremental, type, and tags, security patch. So you could use both this syntax. Just make sure that these are the most important things that needs to be there, and the syntax should be exactly as shown here. This is the curly opening braces and the closing of curly braces. Apart from that, all the words should be in the double quotation, as you could see. Likewise, each line should end with a comma except for the last line. So as you could see, in both these cases, it's just the last line that should not end with a comma, and rest all the lines should end with a comma. So keep this point in mind and get hold of all these files. And you could also verify if this syntax is right or not. For that, you could use a third party, or rather a website. There are many sites such as JSON Validator. It will simply validate your syntax and let you know if there's something wrong or not. So for example, let's copy this command and let me paste it here and click on validate JSON. And as you could see, JSON is valid, so the syntax is correct. Likewise, let me try out with this one as well. If there is anything wrong with the JSON file, then it should let you know as well. So hit on validate JSON. As you could see, it's also valid and correct. So with this, we have got our JSON file. So for example, let's suppose this is the correct and working value. So what you have to do now is simply, once you have got this value, copy all these value, then right click and select new text document. And in the text document, as of now, let's rename it to something, let's say test, and now paste the entire value. Once you have done the paste, let's verify. Again, I will recommend you to verify the syntax. So again, copy the value from the text file and paste it here. So let's verify once again if the value in the text file is correct or not. So the value is correct and we have the JSON syntax valid. So now what you have to do, once you have done this, you will now have to go to file, then go save as and change it to save as type all files. And now you will have to give it a name. So the name should be either of the two. So it should either be the custom pif.json or pif.json, depending on the module that we are going to use. So as of now, let's decide which module you want to use. So currently, let's opt for the module from the fork of the module, which is by osmosis. So let's opt for this module. As of now, we have the JSON file. So now you will have to flash the module, and after flashing the module, we could then transfer the file onto our phone. So this is the plain integrity fork module from osmosis, and I'm using the osmosis build. So go here and then download the plain integrity fork zip file. It will take a few seconds to download. Once that is done, we will now have to transfer the file onto our phone as well. So let's enable file transfer. It will take only a few seconds. Just a minute. So let's select file transfer, and now you will have to transfer the plain integrity fork onto your phone. So let's do that as well. This is the plain integrity fork. Select it and go to your phone, select from here and paste the module onto your phone. And now we will have to flash this module. So let's get that as well. So again, I'm repeating, you could use either the fork of the original module, which is by osmosis, or the original module by Chaitroman. You could use any of these two. I'm using the fork of the original module by osmosis. So let's now flash the module via Magisk. So go to the Magisk, and okay, first and foremost, let me show you. I am failing all the 3 tests. So as of now, our ultimate aim will be to pass the first and second test. So currently I am failing the first two, all the 3 tests. So I will pass the first and second test at the end of the video. I'll show you how to do that as well. Anyways, launch the Magisk app and make sure that you have enabled Zygisk. If that is not the case, then go to the settings menu and enable the toggle next to Zygisk. It will ask you to do a restart. We will not do a restart now. We will do a restart after flashing the module just to save a time. So once you have enabled the toggle next to Zygisk, go to modules, tap on install from storage and select the plain integrity fork module and tap on OK. The module will now be flashed. Once that is done, tap on reboot and your phone will now reboot to the OS, and with this the module will be activated. Likewise, the Zygisk will be enabled as well. So the boot up might take up to a few additional seconds. That's completely normal. So now that we have the module, since I am using the osmosis module, so I will rename it to custom.pif and .json is the extension. If you are using the original module from Chaitroman, then you will have to use the file name as pif and .json will be the extension. So I am using this as of now. So let me select the file name from here itself and rename this file to custom.pif.json and save it on the desktop, and make sure it's all files and click the save button. So currently I already have a file. So as of now, this value has already been banned by Google and will no longer work. So let's focus. I have one more file with me in which we already passed the plain integrity test. So I will show you that at the end of the video, the value of this custom PIF JSON file. So I'll show you at the end. As of now, let's simply save the file as a JSON file. And once you have saved the file, you will get a file something like this. So now you will have to first and foremost transfer this file onto your phone. You could transfer the file anywhere you want on your phone for now. So let me simply select file transfer. And let's transfer the JSON file. So I'm again repeating, the value I've given here is just for the sake of sample. If you use this value, then you will not be able to pass. You will have to do some research from here and find a ROM and firmware which passes the plain integrity test, and it's just a hit and trial method. Although at the end of the video, I'll show you, or rather I will give you one fingerprint using which you could easily pass the test as well. But as of now, I have already used a custom PIF JSON file. This is my own file which I have found, and it has a working fingerprint build. So let me copy this file and send it to my phone. So as of now, you could transfer it anywhere you want. So let's copy the file onto my phone in the internal storage. Now that I have got the file, so I will now have to transfer the file into its original location. Now regarding that, we could either do so via the pixel flasher tool, which I will discuss after this, and it is a part of the automatic approach. But since currently we are using the manual method, so let's go for the manual approach. So for manually doing this job, you will have to transfer the file either to the data ADB modules plain integrity fix folder, which is for osmosis, or you will have to transfer it to the data ADB folder, which is for Chaitroman. So as of now, I'm using the osmosis. So I will have to transfer my file, which is the custom pif.json, inside this directory. So let's get this job done. Before that, simply launch the Magisk app once and make sure that Zygisk is showing as yes and the module is up and running. Once that is done, we will now have to use a file manager which supports root. So I'm using the solid file manager app. So launch it and accept the terms and condition. Then grant it the access to storage. Then go back, tap on the hamburger menu and select the root directory. Then tap on grant in the messages pop-up that appears. And now we will have to transfer the JSON file to the data ADB modules plain integrated fix directory. So first and foremost, let me copy the file from the internal memory. So this is the custom PIF JSON file. So copy it. And now what you have to do is enable auto rotate on your phone. Once you have enabled that, simply do an auto rotate. And now you will see two directories. So in one directory, let's suppose this. So this is my internal memory from where I have copied the custom JSON file. As you could see, I have copied the file from here. And now I will have to go to the root directory. So let's access the root directory. So this is my internal storage from where I have copied the file. Let me show you once again. This is the custom pif.json file which I have copied. And this is the root directory which I have accessed from here. Let me show you. This is the root directory. From here we have to go to the data ADB modules plain integrated fix. And now we have to paste the custom PIF JSON file. So tap on allow and the file should now be pasted. So let's do a refresh. And as you could see, we have the custom PIF.json file. Let me show you. Sorry, this is the section. And as you could see, the file has been pasted. So I'm again repeating. Let me just bring it back to the normal view. So this is the custom PIF.json file which we have got. So the location is for the osmosis build. If you are using the child domain, then you will have to use the data ADB directory. And in that case, the name of the file will be pif.json. But since we are using the osmosis, we will have to use the data ADB modules plain integrated fix section. And over here, we have the custom pif.json. As I have told you, I'll show you this later on. As of now, let's close it. Our job is done. So now what you have to do is restart your phone. This restart is extremely important. So let's do a restart. And upon a restart, we should now pass the plain integrity test if and only if Google hasn't patched it yet. If Google has patched that fingerprint test, then you will have to make use of some other firmware and ROM, and you will then have to carry out this task each and every time until you achieve success. As of now, I have managed to find out a device whose fingerprint is not yet patched by Google, so I will share that with you as well. But first, let me verify and check out the results. So I'm using this app. Let's tap on check and verify the results. So as you could see, my phone is now passing both the Meet device integrity and the Meet basic integrity. So the fingerprint and the build.prop JSON file which I am using is currently not known to many users and it's currently unpatched. So this is working well and good. So this was the manual method of getting this job done. Let's now move ahead and get this job done using the automatic method. So before moving ahead with the automatic method, let me first remove all the modules. So as you could see, currently I am passing both the tests. So now before moving ahead with the automatic approach, I will have to remove this module from my phone, or rather, okay, yes, let's remove it so that I could show you from scratch. So I will remove this module and then do a restart. And upon a restart, I should now fail all these three tests. So as I was saying, the automatic method is done via the pixel flasher tool. And it is quite easy to carry out as opposed to the manual method. But the major issue with this is that Google might be able to patch the firmware, or rather the fingerprint, much faster in comparison to the manual method. Because in the manual method, only you have the fingerprint and the build.prop file with you, but in the pixel flasher tool, it is able to generate the files on your behalf. So all the users who are using the pixel flasher tool might get hold of the build.prop file at a certain state of time. So in that case, Google might have a chance of getting hold of that build.prop file, and it could prove to be a risky approach, but still it's quite easy to carry out, and let's give it a try. So first and foremost, let me show you If I go to the module section, I have no modules and I should now fail all the 3 tests. And as you could see, I am again failing all the 3 tests. So now what we have to do is, first and foremost, if you want to use your own firmware, or rather the fingerprint and build prop, then you could use the fingerprint and build prop as I've explained in the manual section. You could make one JSON file for your own, or if you don't want to make your own, then you could also use the one which is given by the tool. I'll show you that as well. So if you don't want to use the manual build prop file of your own, then simply skip this step. I'll show you later on how to extract or get hold of a file using this tool. So let's skip this for now. The second step is require the Android SDK platform tools. So get it from here and extract them onto your PC. Now you will have to enable Zyges onto your phone. So let's do that as well. And so go to the Magic section and go to the settings menu, enable the toggle next to Zyges. Let me show you. And now restart the device. After restart, make sure it's shown as yes next to Zyges. So if it's showing as yes, we could now move ahead with the next step. So now what you have to do is download the Pixel Flasher from GitHub. It's an open source tool. So get it from GitHub, and upon that, it's just an exe file. So let me show you. It's just programs. So here, so as you could see, it's just an exe file. Simply launch it. It will take a few seconds to load. And first and foremost, you will have to go to the browse section and select the folder where you have extracted the Android SDK platform tools. In my case, it was the, let me show you. In my case, it's the C drive broadband platform tools. So I have just made that selection, platform tools, and then go to select folder, and it has got the platform tools folder. Next up, you will now have to connect your phone. So for that, you will have to enable USB debugging as well. So go to the settings menu on your phone. From here, go to about device, then go to version and tap on build number 7 times. You will get a prompt that you are now a developer. Then go back, go to additional settings, go to developer option and enable the toggle next to USB debugging. You will get a prompt on your phone, tap on OK, and with this, debugging is now enabled. So now click on the scan button and your phone should be listed here. So let's just wait for a few seconds, and if your phone is not being shown here, then not an issue. Simply unplug your phone from the PC and replug it once again. Likewise, make sure to select file transfer from here in case of OnePlus that's required, and again click on the scan button, and this time around your phone should be listed. So make a selection from the drop down menu, and as you could see, our phone is now shown here. So with this, our phone is listed and we could now move ahead with the next step. So now you will have to click on the Magisk button. So click on Magisk over here and then click on install PIF module. So let's click on install PIF module, and again it will ask you which module. This is the original one and this is the fork one. So in the manual method as well, we use the fork one. So again, let's use the fork method. So I'm using the fork module. So use the osmosis and it will then carry out the set task, which could take up to a few seconds. So it will install the fork module onto your phone. So select the fork module and click on OK. And the module should now be flashed onto your phone. As you could see, it will take a few seconds. And once that is done, hit OK. So upon clicking OK, you will be again taken to the home screen. So now hit the reboot to system button, and your phone should now reboot to the OS, and the latest Magisk module will now be installed onto your phone. So till now what we have did is we launched the tool, then added the platform tools folder directory, then we click on scan and choose our phone, then we went to the Magisk install PIF module and selected the one from the osmosis fork module. Then after that, click on the OK button. You will be taken to the home screen. From the home screen, click on system and your phone will now reboot to the OS with the module installed. So first off, let's verify if it has installed the module or not. So launch the Magisk app and go to the module section. And as you could see, it has installed the module, which in our case is the Play Integrative Fork. So again, go to your device and make sure your phone is being shown here. If it's not shown here, then simply hit the scan button and your phone should now be listed here. So our phone is now listed here. Now our next course of action is to click on the PIF manager. So go to Magisk and click on the PIF manager from here. If it's not shown here, just a minute. So simply expand, instead of going to Magisk, you will have to expand the app, or rather increase its width, and now click on the PIF manager. And from here, as of now, you could see it's completely empty because we haven't given it any file. Now, if you have any manual build.prop file or a manual fingerprint JSON file, such as the one which we had made earlier in the manual step. So if you have a manual JSON file, then what you have to do is simply click on the process build.prop button and then upload that build.prop file. You could upload all the files such as the build prop, system prop, vendor prop. The order of the file should be something like this: the build, system, and as such, just it's not important that you should upload all the file. Only upload the file which are there inside the firmware. So upload these files. It's just that the order of the file should be as follows, and this is only required in case you are manually uploading a JSON file that you have. On the other hand, if you don't have any manual JSON file, then in that case you could also ask the tool for the JSON file. In that case, you just have to click on the get the Freeman 193 random PIF. The Freeman 193 is the developer, and all thanks goes to him. So hit this button and it will generate a new JSON file as well as all the values from the build prop, and this is the fingerprint value. So now you will have to paste this value in the active PIF section. So hit the paste icon and the value has been pasted. But as of now, you are getting a red warning sign because the value in the active PIF is not the same value as which is there on your phone. So you will now have to sync the values of the active PIF and the one which is there on your phone. For that, you will have to hit the create PIF.json, and with this you could see the red warning has disappeared. So as of now, both the active PIF and the value in your phone is the same. So once that is done, we will now have to check the value on our phone, whether our phone passes the test or not. Regarding that, you could use the following 4 apps: Play Integrity API Checker, Simple Play Integrity Checker, TB Checker, or Play Store. As of now, I'm using the Play Integrity API Checker. So you just have to install the app on your phone. So you could install the app from Play Store, and you don't even need to launch the app. Simply have the app installed, then select this app from here and click on the Play Integrity Check. It will automatically launch the app and do the check on your behalf. So let's just wait for a few seconds and then we will verify the results. So let's just see what is the result. So as you could see, if it's shown as unknown, then again hit this button and it's now automatically doing a check. And as you could see, I am only passing the basic integrity. I am not passing the device integrity. You could verify the same from the output section as well. I am only passing the second test. I also have to pass the device integrity, which I am not passing. So this fingerprint and this build prop is of no use for me. That's not an issue. You just have to hit the get Freeman random PIF and it will give you a new PIF once again. As of now, we have got a phone from Xiaomi. I will not recommend using a Xiaomi phone. So let's again click on get Freeman at random PIF. So with this, we have got a one from Lenovo. So again, paste the output in the active PIF section via this button, and you will again get a warning sign because on our phone we have the older PIF, and in the active PIF we have the newer PIF. So just hit the update PIF JSON file and it will now update the value on your phone and the warning sign will disappear. After that, again click on Play Integrity Check and you could verify the result from here whether your phone passes the test or not. So let's perform a check, and as you could see, again we are only passing one of the tests and not the first test. So you could again click on get the Freeman random PIF and you will have to carry on this task forever. Not forever, but around, in my case, I had to do this for around 45 minutes and only then I was able to find a perfect working build for me. So let me show you one more, and if that works well and good. Otherwise, so let's check out this value as well. So again, I'm failing. So this means all these values have been passed by Google, and all this will not work, as you could see from here. So now what could be done in that case? So in that case, I have made one more guide, and I have, let me show you. So your first course of action is to simply carry on this method one after the other and do it after for 30-45 minutes, 1 hour, until you achieve success. So just hit the Freeman random PIF, click the paste button, click on update PIF, and then perform a check either via the plain integrity check button or simply hit the check button here, and you will get the result. So you will have to carry on this task until you achieve success. This is the automatic method. In case of manual method, you will have to download a new firmware, extract the build.prop file from there, then use the process build.prop and upload the new build.prop file, and then check the result and carry out that task until you achieve success. This will end up taking quite a lot of time and effort. So what else you could do is, I have made a separate guide, and over here I will make a list of all those fingerprint and the build.prop file which are passing the plain integrity test. Although I should not have shared this, but still I am helping you guys. The reason because of not sharing is that once I share this, it will be with all the users and then it will be patched by Google very quickly. But until that happens, you are free to use my fingerprint. And so let me show you, I made a separate guide on the same. So as of now, the fingerprint that I have got hold of is from the Blue G8 device, and this is the raw dump of the firmware. So in the manual method which I have told you that you have to download the firmware, in some cases you don't even have to download the firmware, you could directly get hold of the raw dump file. So the phone which I am using currently, the Blue G8, so for that I don't even have to download the firmware. I got hold of its raw dump file, and under the raw dump from the GitLab, it's usually there on the GitLab. This is the G8 phone. So I went to the build.prop, and inside that I could get hold of all the files and all the values. I didn't have to download any firmware. I didn't have to extract any file whatsoever. All the values are there within this file itself. So in your case also, I will first recommend you to search for the raw dump file for the firmware. If that is not available, only then proceed ahead and download the ROM file. So in my case, I am using the Blue G8 user, as you could see over here, release key, and it's the G0170, and I managed to get hold of the raw dump file. So I didn't have to download the firmware, and within that I got hold of all these values. Although only the 6 to 8 values are important, as I told you before. Let me show you. Although these are the most important values, but the more the values, the better it will be. So I have given all these value. So now you will have to simply use this value in a JSON file. So let's first verify its value. So simply paste the value in a website and let's verify its syntax. So the syntax is correct. So we could now proceed ahead and use this JSON file and get this job done. So regarding that, what you could do is simply copy this value. And after that, let me show you what you have to do. Simply make a new notepad file and paste the value here, the exact same value. Then go to file, then save as, and save the file with either the file name as I've told you before. So save the file, just a minute, you will either have to save the file as custom pif.json if you have flashed the osmosis fork, or name it as pif.json if you have flashed it for the child domain builder. So depending on the mod which you have flashed, you will have to do the rename accordingly. I use the osmosis and the custom pif.json file. So let me show you. I have used this file. So let me open this file and show you the result. As you could see, this was the file which I have used. The manufacturer is Blue and the model is G8. So all these values are there. I simply then went ahead, file, save as, and then choose it all files and select custom pif.json and save the file. So once you have done the saving, now what you have to do is you could do two things. Either, so let me first show you, currently I am filling the test. So now you could do either two things. First and foremost, you will take the manual approach and transfer the file to the data ADB modules plain integrated fixed folder and restart your phone, or you could paste the value over here and paste the same value over here, then hit the update PIF JSON file and get the job done. So in the manual method, what you have to do is go install a root supported file manager app. In my case, I'm using the solid file manager app. Then go to the root directory. From here, select data ADB modules plain integrated fix and paste your custom PIF JSON file over here. As you could see from here, this is the same file. So it's from the Xiaomi build, so I'll have to replace it. So let me remove this file from here, or we will replace it, or rather let's remove it. And now you could take two steps: either use the custom PIF file and manually do the transfer. So in that case, let me show you. You just have to copy the file from the internal memory, and this is the custom PIF JSON file. Copy it, then do an auto rotate and paste the file inside the plain integrated fixed folder. So paste the file here, and once the paste is done, let's open the file and verify it once. So now we have the blue file in the root directory. It's well and good. Now you will have to do a restart of your phone, and then you will pass the test. So let's do a restart, and then I'll show you the result as well. Or if you don't want to take that approach, then your second approach will be to simply copy the value which I have shown in my guide. These are the values from the blue phone. Then paste the value here. Paste the value here, and okay, just a minute. Let me copy the entire value. So copy the entire value and paste the value here. Likewise, paste it here in the same section. So with this, we have got the same value across both the section. And then you will have to click on the update pif.json, and the same will be reflected. Let me first show you the result of this. So if I launch it and perform a check, so you could see I am now passing both the tests. Let me now do one thing and remove that JSON file from there. So just a minute. So now what I will do is once again go to the root directory, go to data ADB modules plain integrated fix, and let me remove this custom file from here, and I have removed the custom PIF JSON file. And for the ease of convenience, let's now restart our phone just to be on the safer side. So the restart will take only a few seconds. It's always recommended to do a restart. So let's just wait for a few more seconds. And as of now, let me just verify in the meantime that the output is correct. Let me verify the syntax. So this is let me clear it once and paste the value and validate. So it's clear. So it's well and good. So now our phone is booted to the OS. So since I have removed the custom file, it should again fail the test. Let me show you that as well. So it should again fail the first test. And just let me show you. As you could see, it's failing the first test. So now again, make sure your phone is being shown here. Just a minute. So it's shown here. And now we have just done what is we simply pasted the value from my guide and then hit the paste button, and we have the same under the activate PIF. Now click on the update pif.json, and the same will now be updated onto our phone. Once that is done, hit the plain integrated check button, and it will now perform a check. And as you could see, we are now passing the test. So you could either manually move the file there, or you could simply paste the value in the output section, hit the paste icon, and then do the same from here. Click on update pif.json and do a check. So as you could see, we are passing the first and second test. And once you are able to find a value which passes the test, I will recommend you to hit the heart icon, and this will save the PIF in your phone, in the app. So as you could see, the blue is the one which I have saved, and it's showing a heart icon which signifies that it's currently working for me. So I have saved this PIF onto my app. So guys, on that note, I round up this video. I will link this guide onto my video description. Likewise, I will also keep on updating this guide with new fingerprints. As of now, I have only managed to find the blue G8. So please make sure to make use of the same at the earliest, and then I will update it as soon as possible. So on that note, I round up this video. If you have any queries, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.